Yeah, happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday, everybody, and welcome to the Dollar Hour. I am Deontay Burton, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. We got an awesome show playing for you guys today. We early in the new year, 2024, so I want to go over some things that I think benefit most business owners out there, and that's the six biggest threats to your business in 2024.
Okay.
Again, the six biggest threats to your business in 2024.
Okay.
All right. Before we get started, I want to say what's up to my awesome producer, DJ Lab.
What's going on, brother?
Man, fantastic.
You had another rotation around the sun.
Yeah. We're gonna get to that.
Do you feel any older?
Yeah, man. I feel a lot older, and everything. You guys know my birthday was past Monday, January 8th. I turned 47 years young.
Okay.
And I feel pretty good, man. Yeah. Not around like you used to. It's still running. Yes, sir.
That's all that matters. Just gotta warm it up like a box Chevy, right?
Yeah. There you go. I appreciate that, man. But yeah, it was pretty cool, man.
Okay.
Shout out to everybody. Gave me a birthday shout out
Uh-huh.
and everything. I love everybody, and I appreciate all everybody reached out to me.
Okay.
Also, what's up to my producer Sleep 316? What's up, Reek?
What's going on, Rick?
And also, we got in studio guest, my baby boy Will B.
Will be in the house.
He's not gonna be on camera today, y'all, but Will just
We give us on that financial literacy today.
but he's tired, boy. But now, this particular show I think is very necessary because going into any year, but even just going into the whole thing of being in business, a lot of times we always think about the pros of going in business. You know, for me, it was something how the industry is. The money that can be made and things like that, but nobody think about the setbacks that can go along with it. Especially when you on the surface, we kind of just really focus on the familiarity.
Right.
What we know is something like if you actually maybe a baker or a landscaper, things like that, just the surface stuff, running out of gas, it's hot, or the stove gonna break down, things like that. But not necessarily going that deep into market threats and things that really can be devastating your business if you're not on top of it. So that's why I want to discuss with you guys the six biggest threats to your business in 2024. Again, this is the Dollar Hour. I am Deontay Burton, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. Right now, we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. But the main hub is the Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel, where we have probably about 900 videos covering business operation, business finance, and business management. Regardless what platform you're looking at, guys, make sure you go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel, just say if you had to leave in the middle of the show, or to just go there and take advantage of all the great information we have currently on the show. Again, that's Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. We also had a call-in number, guys. So if you got any question, you're new in business, you're currently in business, discuss what we're talking about, the business stretch of 2024, feel free to call in. The call-in number is 678-740-9894. Again, the call-in number is 678-740-9894. Feel free to call in. And again, guys, we start talking about the business threat. Keep in mind that everything here we're talking about is speculative, and the actual threats, may vary, may differ in 2024. It's essential to stay updated on current events, industry trends, emerging risks, and my last training cutoff potential threats could include. So when we're looking at these particular things, in particular, just staying abreast. It may vary. Some may, be right on it with you. Some may not necessarily thought about. Some may not even be any impactful to you at all.
Okay.
But I think it's very, very important to look at some of these particular things and look at them and just kind of give a thought to how it could impact your business. Okay. Before I get started, I'm gonna make sure I got all my housekeeping stuff together. My birthday was the only thing I wanted to bring up. Tax season around the corner. I'll talk about that at the end of the show.
Okay.
I just want to just think about everything. Oh man, big shout out to Miss Nettie, her new hot single. Charles, your lunch is ready.
Who?
Miss Nettie.
Okay.
You seen that the video of the lady? Charles, your lunch is ready. The
Southern Soul.
Miss Nettie. Miss Nettie, the always cooking Charles, your lunch ready. I don't know what Miss Nate is cooking for Charles. The song is really jamming, but whatever she cooking, Charles has forgotten he's dealing with a bumpy faced transsexual.
Oh,
And I'm saying,
I ain't heard this song at all.
Rico Donna shared it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man, it's the hottest thing going right now. And all the videos, she's always talking about Charles and lunch ready.
Oh, what?
I say they made a video, man, like, what is that joker cooking? They got this joker done forgot. He coming in. Charles, got your food. The black eyed peas, rutabagas, and all that kind of stuff. Charles walking eating that food. They made a whole video today. I'm done. Ricky and Donna, both of them shared today.
I ain't heard this song 9 times.
You see me Nettie, you gonna blow your mind. But I'm sitting there like, the food that good that he just don't forgot he got this big old transsexual. And
it's that good.
Shout out to Miss Nettie.
Okay.
I tell you, who ain't trying to find it can be that damn good, but I tell you, who ain't trying to damn find it. I can't believe this shit. 2024. But again, guys, we're talking about the top 6 business stress to your business in 2024. You guys definitely call in again, 678-740-9894. Get at 678-740-9894. If you want to chime in regards to anything that you may feel like it's a threat, or if you want to just, put it out there and just ask, hey, what do you think about that in regards to any kind of risk that may be associated with your business, feel free to call in, guys. We start looking at the first couple of things. That the first one I want to hit on is, I think anyone have potential if you have any kind of automated system in your business. That means cybersecurity threats. The threat of cyber attacks, data breaches, and ransomware continues to evolve, requiring business to invest in robust security measures. And my business in particular, everybody knows I'm an accountant by profession. We've been in tax business over 20 years. I have to make sure I got a lot of security measures up because I got everybody's social system information.
Okay.
Name, social security numbers, address, bank information, dependent socials, date of birth, all that kind of stuff. So I have to invest a lot into things to protect that. And I don't like, I'm gonna be very honest with you. And again, we're talking about the top threats. And I want guys, you business owners to really be thinking about this. I don't like getting validating my prices. Okay. I don't like, again, because I'm not the cheap tax man. I'm a good tax man. And sometimes you put your price out there and people say that's too much. And everybody entitled to feel what they feel like. I ain't finna get in there trying to explain stuff. But one thing about it is just, because a lot of times people come to me on OG tips. Hey man, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? As far as, getting their businesses set up, especially the people that are new to the tax business. And I always, one nugget I always give people, we always work backward from the cost. So whatever it costs us to run this business, we want to make sure our prices can cover our costs. But one thing about it, I was just looking at it. I have to have a robust, strong firewall, antivirus, malware, ransomware. I got to have all that together because of that. And that shit ain't cheap, right?
It's not.
So a lot of times when people call, they'll look at that. And I know the average person you can call that probably doing taxes, they don't have that. They don't have, even just best practices, just make sure they're protecting people's information. And you start talking about, what was that, like 3-4 years ago, Atlanta, it was several cities. Like, I don't know. They
took over their services.
And they had to pay me
ransomware.
It was pretty much most of the major cities. And you see with some of these major organizations, like that stuff is getting taken over. The average person won't necessarily feel that because the average person doesn't have a lot of sensitive information. You got your own personal stuff that somebody may jip you with and take your stuff, but overall, you're not necessarily privy to having things that people would necessarily want. Because, just your individual stuff. When you got like a hub where
there's so many people's stuff.
Exactly. So that's why you might get those letters and emails every now and then from the credit card company. Or something and say, hey, look, we had a data breach. You have, your personal information.
Change your password.
Yeah. There's been risk of exposure and things like that.
Password.
But definitely you got to be very careful there. So I mean, even if you're turning around, and it don't necessarily have to be as deep as Social Security numbers and bank accounts. If you got a landscaping company where you actually got folks' names, information, and set in some kind of access, but database where you keep that information. Anything is at a threat to get taken advantage. You got to be very careful. You just got your church registry. Everybody's name,
emails
date of birth, and address, emails and stuff. People that do, illegal stuff, they minds on a different level. Hey, you might be looking on the surface like, what the hell do they want? And you have no damn clue what they can do if they have certain information because your mind don't go into that, right? I know people that scheme and scam, and they think on a different level.
A whole different level. We watched a cyber thing where they was giving people identification one time, and the way they was doing this, all I need is this one little piece, and with that one little piece, they got address, and then the address they got this. I mean, before you know it, they had social security numbers with all, and this they did. This was within like 4 minutes.
Check this out. And then with that said, though, lad.
Say hey to your mama.
Hey, what's up, mom? What's going on? What's happening, mom? Mama a little under the weather. Shout out to mom. Hope you're feeling better, baby.
Feel better.
Those are the kind of things where you think about it. You got that if any kind of notion that somebody's personal information has got out, you imagine what that can impact your business.
Right.
Just imagine how that can impact your business, guys. So again, we're talking about the top 6 business threats, biggest threats to your business in 2024. You got to be thinking of this stuff, right? The second one I want to go to. Remember, guys, call in number 678-740-9894. Again, that's 678-740-9894. The second one, man, and I probably should have put this first because it may sound silly. But I think this is probably one of the most impactful things on business the past couple of years, and that's talent shortage and workforce challenges. The competition for skilled talent may continue, and businesses need effective strategies for recruitment, retention, and skill development. How many times have you went into a damn restaurant and you got to wait 20, 30 minutes and the damn place empty? And then when you get somebody to come see you, they're not necessarily, friendly, this, that,
professional.
Exactly.
We had that experience this weekend.
Well, check this out, lad. Now, again, when we're talking about these, remember, guys, these are the 6 biggest threats of your business in 2024. I want everybody to understand, do not look at anything we discuss from a consumer standpoint. Look at everything we're discussing today from an owner standpoint, right? The owner standpoint. We're talking about the threats to your business. So you can't look at it from the lens of, I'm purchasing or I pay for a service. We have to look at it from actually we're the one providing, right?
Services,
and so we start talking about that whole thing with just talent shortage and workforce challenges. One bad person, because here's the deal, man, because I know we're in this day and age where everybody wants a brunch spot, restaurant, wing, this, that, and that.
Cigar bar.
Yeah, cigar bar, this, that, and that. Now, let me tell you something. I don't think people really, people are so caught up in, because I pick up my phone, damn, man, it look grown and sexy, and everything's cool, the aesthetics there, you got the whole vibe going. Check us out, everybody like comment, you see the comments in social media, right? And everybody just in tune with going and enjoying it.
Have a good time.
Go and have a good time. But then you go and think about it. Remember, we're talking about from the lens of the owner.
Right.
You so caught up in the higher everything. Look how the food is, the DJ, and all this other kind of stuff. But you got these ignorant ass folks working for you.
Right.
And someone not ignorant, just unskilled. And they don't understand the whole point of just, people think customer service is just somebody speaking nice to you.
Right.
Everybody not skilled to give somebody an excellent experience where they feel, well, you can make my worst day my best day.
Right.
Not only you make my worst day my best day, you made me put at the point where I might want to give you a big tip.
Right.
Not only with that, I also might want to give you a great review. The only way I do that, I might go back home. Man, y'all need to go check this spot out, boy. It was live, boy. We had a good time.
Right.
Hey, man, you need to have such and such. Those kind of things where you can over deliver, give folks a certain experience, and they're always going to have you got a retention of people coming to you all the time, right?
Right.
So it's not like all the time you say customer experience, people being nice to you, but it's just a person over delivering, and they know the menu inside out. They know pretty much
what tastes good.
Exactly. How to just be in tune with having conversations. and doing that kind of stuff.
Right.
But when you go in a lot of these places, folks sitting in the corner, they congregate. You know, folks on their texts and their messages, and people make a lot of bad decisions and stuff when you come from an owner perspective. They want to put family members in there. They want to put people that they don't feel like they got to pay. Because one thing I want to get a notion on, not paying a lot for labor does not necessarily equate a bad employee.
Right.
I think a lot of times people just don't want to spend enough time grilling people
And train.
you know, you can just, even before you train, you know who can be trainable.
Right. Right.
Everybody can be trainable,
Right.
right? Because that's why a lot of folk can't handle school,
Mhm.
right? And I'm not saying this, relation with that, but everybody can't. Like every athlete can't be coached, right?
Right.
Great athlete, but just can't listen to folks. So going through them processes, you got to sit here and just be more diligent with that. Because here's the deal: we start talking about talent and things like that. Those people can be so impactful into your business being great or being worse. Because we know what, everybody living off their phone. You know, you may go holler at, hey, Pooch, man, go check out this little spot that was cool.
Right.
You may do that if you remember it. You know, we were talking about it and say, man, we're going to go to East Point. Boy, go check that out.
Right.
Outside that, man, I come to your mind. But let them give you a badass day.
I'm gonna remember that.
You ain't before you done made a negative comment. 1 star, don't go.
Right.
Horrible. Hey, this, that, and that. And all that.
Trust me.
And it happens all the
I
time.
did this weekend. I'm telling you, and we wasn't even customers. We were actually there to work, and the people working there was terrible.
Really?
Yeah.
But y'all was at the open mic.
Yeah.
That's right.
The people there was terrible.
Really?
The people working there was horrible.
But that ain't your first time having that little experience, is it?
Not
Not
no,
there?
but at that place it was, because
Really?
I heard that place was supposed to be artsy. I mean, it's nice ambiance and stuff, but just the people there, especially, I mean,
When you say people, you talking about the customers or you talking about the employees?
we're talking about the employees. And the owner.
Gotcha.
Horrible attitudes.
Or about to.
Horrible people.
Well, that's what I think sometimes we got to be mindful. Again, we're talking about the 6 biggest threats to your business in 2024. The second one being that talent shortage and workforce challenges. I really want people, if you are thinking about going into business and you have to have people working for you, contracting folks, however you want to do it, please take time. Please take time and a lot of due diligence, not just on the whole point of training, but to make sure they are a good fit for you. So let me give you this golden nugget, guys. People always want to go over the actual point of how to find the right people to hire. You gotta sit here, guys, and understand whatever service or business that you're providing, right? If you that product you're selling, the service you're doing, whatever that is, you got to make sure whatever that is that you got the right person working backwards. Who would be ideal to do this? Who would be ideal to work in this landscape? And I know it ain't gonna fuss or fight. Who would be ideal to sit up in my shop, whatever? Who would be ideal to actually be a waiter or cook and hear this, that, and that? You know what I'm saying? And that person, you can put it out there and just say you want a job, but you know who, and you myself, for example, with the cleaning company, I tend to get, to be honest with you, I wanted older people. When I say older, let's say 40 and up, they need some extra change and they can kind of with a stable. I don't like young folks working the cleaning job.
Okay.
I never liked that, only because I wanted people that were more concerned with getting their money, doing their stuff, getting their money, than they would miss something.
Okay.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Typically, did I miss out on some of that time with the people? Yeah, I did. But for the most part, I got who I wanted. People that wanted consistent, extra income. They can go to their night job, do what they supposed to do, make their money because they had to pay some bills, whatever. Right. I knew what I wanted. And then most of the time when I wavered away from it, I got problems. The salon. I was okay with having empty seats. Then turn around and put the wrong person in. Because with my salon, I had a salon 17 years. A salon is really about chemistry. It be like that with a barbershop too. So at the end of the day, like if Lab working in my salon and Lab is consistently paying, I can't bring the wrong person in, because now you tripping on one lead. That wrong person might be what we call a shop hopper.
Right.
They might meet for a month, them for a
Somebody else
month.
for a
But
month.
if I got consistent people in there, I need to make sure if we got a culture set up, we stay along with it now. So most of the stylists I led in my salon were in business over 10 years.
Mhm.
Most of them were north of 30, preferably 35. They
Mhm.
kind of had like their own clientele. They didn't want to bother nobody, and they didn't want to be damn bothered.
Right.
They just wanted to be secure, clean.
Get in and get out.
Yeah. Everything functioning. It's secure and nothing. Worry
Mhm.
about breaking in, whatever, and everything was just clean. So that was just, and I kind of look for that. So if I got a call from Young Money,
Mhm.
Coco Licious, I couldn't let him in shop. I couldn't.
Right.
I couldn't let the last girl. I just couldn't.
Right.
Could be professional, whatever. I knew that was gonna throw the culture out.
Right.
And you gotta be cool with it. Like I said, like I might go damn. I think I went almost damn 2 months understaffed. I'm coming out of my pocket, but I knew the wrong person come in would have really had me damn understaffed, no staff. Right?
How would a person who owns a business know? I mean, I guess you would kind of know, but how would you know what you really? Because people get anxious. They get anxious. They're like, man, I gotta have somebody else to do this, and you say waiting on the right person, but if they don't know exactly who the right fit is for that, because you got several different people in there, they don't know who exactly the right person is. Then what they're supposed, how they gonna fill that position? Because they'll be waiting forever if they don't know.
That's a good question. You have to know what the right fit is.
Okay.
So you don't. Your culture.
Do you walk around the restaurant or the store or whatever and just fill it out with the people that's there?
No, you can't do that. Like that's what I'm saying. You gotta actually go in. That's a good question because far too often people get into business and open stuff. They don't think about this.
Right.
And so what happens is they panic.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they start want to put
anybody in. That's what I'm saying. People 2-3 months and they need a fry guy or they need somebody who can flip the burger because Leon about to be, he about to be going somewhere else, or he been there working 12-hour shifts. You get what I'm saying? They need to fill that position. And 2-3 months down the line, for one, they don't know who the right fit is, and for two, they need to fill that position. They anxious now.
What was wrong with me extending everything till I got the right fit in before I started?
Mm-hmm.
Things can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Things can happen, but sometimes people be so they are your impatience can come bite you in the butt because and a lot of times the impatience is set in ignorance.
Right.
They don't take it as serious as it is.
Okay.
But what I'm saying, because to your question, yes, a question that I think a lot of people will look at it, guys. Again, we're talking about 6 biggest threats to your business 2024. We're looking at number 2, talent shortages and workforce challenges. People think it's all plug and play. Let me hire some people and put some people in.
Mm-hmm.
But understand it, you just hiring people, you bring somebody in, they'll mess your shit up.
Right.
I mean, just really, if you go in there with a bad attitude and everything, like there is so much damage. One person could do something in one day that you have built a reputation of years on.
That's true.
There is so much damage that they can do.
Right.
Real talk, man.
Mm-hmm.
And so at the end of the day, what is it hurting you to make sure you got everything together? And here's the thing you look at it. When you start thinking about franchises and things like that, right? And I was in a position where in my life, when I was younger, I was with some of the some franchise like Checkers and Rally's, whatever the new locations, right? Mm-hmm. And what always stuck with me, and even though I was younger, was that when they had them build outs and they were actually rolling everything out, they already had the management team in place and they were teaching everybody their system, right? Normally you go work at a fast food, right? It's all plug and play. You can put people in right there because the system is bigger than the person. So they're not going to have the fry guy sitting there trying to do mathematical equation. You're just doing fries.
They're just doing fries, right?
So you have some people that be rude here and there, but for the most part, if the order is wrong with something like that, the franchise tries to take out the thinking. That's
I got what you're saying.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying?
Just flip the burger, put on the bun, put out the window.
Yeah. Nothing, where you gonna go to Ruth Chris, well, hey, you
gotta take that temperature.
And you got some people.
All burgers are well done. There's no medium rare here. Just right. I get what you're saying.
You got some situations. A little lettuce, no mayo, hold this, da.
Right.
The person on that damn button, on that damn, they might mess that up. But for the most part, there's not a lot of thinking.
Right.
It's, like I said, it's plug and play. And what I mean by plug and play, just get somebody, pull somebody out, put somebody in with doing that. I say this to say, that when you see that they have the management team in place where everybody knows what's going on,
Mhm.
and they're already knowing, okay, we're doing it. When you have to know how your leadership in place when you start a business up. You have to make sure. And guys, remember I told you I can go to the SBA and get you some coaching or whatever,
Mhm.
but don't ever underestimate managing leadership and development.
Mhm.
Don't ever. And you may sit there and say to yourself, "Man, damn, man, we cutting grass. Boy, you ain't thinking to do that. You ain't thinking to do that." They didn't.
Right.
They didn't. And you didn't think the damn find out they did process like that or not. You know, I'm one of the people I can chuck 7-8 balls at a time.
Mhm.
Majority of the people can only do 2.
2.
Right?
Right.
And so at the end of the day, you can't have 3-4 ball jugglers expectations
Mhm.
for somebody to only do 2 balls at a time.
Right. I
Right?
get what you're saying.
And I think that until you actually get some fire up under your ass, you start losing money and things become a threat. That's the only time people get concerned.
Mm.
You know, and right now, man, right the right labor. I mean, the right, just having the right people work for you, man.
Mhm.
It is crucial.
Right.
It is crucial, man, because again, remember, guys, we're not looking at it from the actual, like I said, the consumer or the person that's paying for services. We're talking about as the business owner. We're talking about as a business owner.
Mhm.
Man, you got like you have to spend some time
Mhm.
and have the right people in place because they will mess your shit up.
And that's true. I'm a big proponent of good service when I'm a customer. When I go into a restaurant or wherever I go to and the service is terrible, I'm gonna write a Yelp review. I'm gonna write a Google review. I don't care what happens. I'm going to write one. I wrote a Yelp review one time. They got over 100,000 review views, and so that's 100,000 people that looked at my negative review on your restaurant.
Yeah, and just think about it like this though, Lab. For the most, usually, I'm not saying this doesn't happen. Like, you know, you got because even when you might go to a fast food, you might have bad customer service. You go to a fast food, but most time you go to fast. I don't say most time, but a lot of time going to fast food, you also got bad, paying customers.
Right.
Cussing folks out, demeaning them, and things
Mhm.
like that. A lot of times, depending, and I say that to say that depending on the quality of establishment you went to,
Mhm.
sometimes they may have put something that the owners or the manager in there have some kind of skill level
Mhm.
how to handle stuff. A lot of them don't.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
franchise, they kind of, like I said, it's plug and play. They've been trained to do that. Your mom and pop place may not necessarily have it.
Okay.
Not necessarily saying that you don't get rude folks. You go to a franchise, you go to a McDonald's, something like that, too. But most of the time, really, it's plug and play. When you have those discrepancies and stuff like that,
Mhm.
they can get rid of somebody because they can get, put a new person in. The funky thing, I just think people need to understand when you actually get in that side of, and you have to have people that actually dealing with interaction with people or actually doing something with your business. They may just be, they're not even dealing with people.
Mhm.
They might be cutting up, painting and everything like that. You got to make sure that you got the right folks because you can actually be a painter
Mhm.
or a landscaper. They don't do it right. Now you got to go back over there and do it all over again. And you might have to get rid of them, get somebody else. We see
Right.
how this can negatively impact your particular business because you're like, damn, I ain't get paid extra to go back.
Right.
But that's why I always tell people all the time, when we go into business, make sure your price is right because I always say, I charge for if something happened, I ain't tripping by going back and fixing it.
Right.
If I turn around and did it on the super low and something come back, professional integrity, I'm gonna fix it. But I'm feeling some type of way because I didn't charge what I should have charged from the get go. You see what I'm saying?
I gave a name for what you do. You gave them the round trip price, not the one way price.
There you go. You have to.
Right.
You have to because again, that way, speaking for myself, something happened. Hey, this came back. Okay, cool. Let me get on top.
Right.
But you ain't paid me. You ain't did that. What we doing?
You're gonna be a little bit reluctant.
You got to do it, but you feel some type of way.
Right.
You may not have the same sense of urgency as somebody that came and just took care of stuff. But that makes sense.
I get what you're saying. I would say.
So, definitely looking at that, guys. Again, we're talking about the 6 biggest threat to your business in 2024. Guys, call in. Again, the call-in number is 678-740-9894. Again, that's 678-740-9894. The third one is regulatory changes.
Mm-hmm.
Ongoing and new regulations may pose challenges, especially in industries where compliance is crucial. Staying informed and adapting to changes is crucial. A lot of times we start talking about regulatory changes, rules change from get a year.
Mhm.
Like you my tax business, for instance. There are things that we could do years ago back in the rapid refund days
Oh, yeah.
or whatever.
Right.
We do now. One of the biggest things I think a lot of times people don't realize, tax businesses by law, Circular 230, you can't advertise prices.
Oh,
You
okay.
can't advertise prices.
Not at all.
Not at all.
That's why you don't see that many H&R Block commercials no more. Remember they used to advertise. They used to
Well,
advertise.
advertise service. You got to have a service. You
Right.
can't put your price. I won't never think I ever seen an H&R.
They
They
have.
a price.
Right. When Rapid Refund, they had prices on there.
The prices of what they could get you back or what they'll charge.
Oh, what they charged. Like they was like $95 for this and some for that and Rapid Refund. They used to do that back in the day.
Well, now again, Rapid stopped. I'm thinking 05, 06. So it's been a minute. But as of now, you can't do that.
Oh, okay.
You can't do that. There are regulations and rules in place that a lot of times I know people that are versed with it push certain things, you know. And I think that what happens a lot of times, people don't try to get abreast of certain stuff. We looked years ago here in Atlanta. Again, we're talking about the 6 biggest stretches of been in 2024. You had a lot of people that were going to events and stuff. You had the young kids that were doing the water bottles and stuff. They ain't had their stuff together.
Right.
You know, you ain't got no kind of no licenses, no this, that, and that. But you want to go, you know, you at the places, you know, they ain't bother nobody, quote unquote, not, you know, breaking any laws, but they weren't licensed. They weren't vendors.
Right. And
you going out here selling these t-shirts and you feel like what's going on, man, I can't even make $1. But you do have people here that paid $300, $400, $500 to be a vendor at this place.
Okay.
You just walking down, arms out, shirts and stuff like that.
Right.
And you can't do it.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And that's why I say a lot of times people have to actually, you know, spend a little time with doing stuff, cutting corners and using the wrong things. One of the worst things that happen to you, like you got your house, you know, that you getting built from scratch and everything. You trust the builder to be what? Doing everything up to code.
Right.
Maybe not. You know,
right? Depends.
Especially on the stuff that probably the actual inspector probably ain't gonna look at or may not can't notice whatever, depending on how they come. They in a rush or not, they want to look at it, right? Or if they know the person,
that's something else.
All that stuff come into play, right? So
right.
Regulatory changes, man, you got to make sure that you're on top of that, because here's the deal. Something that your business was able to do 1 year, they may not even be able to sell that product or service the next year. Laws and regulations change.
Right.
You know, those kind of stuff you have to.
Well, we always talk about the restaurant business. You know, this year you might not have to wear gloves for this, but next year they might require you to wear gloves and a mask.
Or big ones, they bring a restaurant ventilation system.
Ventilations, right.
There are things that regulations came out this year for a lot of cigar places. I know on the south side, they want to have a certain kind of ventilation system, and it has to be endorsed by the fire marshal. And a lot of them, they just started up.
They have.
They ain't got nothing. They got some fans.
And
you know what I'm saying? But it's nothing like, you know, because what happens a lot of times, people in the commercial places, you got neighbors and stuff like that. Now they got their place smell like
smoke, yeah.
And they don't want it and stuff because it went up in the ceiling. But those kind of things, like, starting now, they're doing it, whereas some folk might have been, you know, they thought they were grandfathered in, but everything's new and different. They got to add, that could be massive cost.
Yeah. I mean, grease traps. Like when I used to manage shopping centers. At shopping centers, if you have a restaurant, you got to have a grease trap behind the shopping center. People didn't realize that. Like, you got to have a grease trap back there.
Did y'all make sure they had that stuff before they got to sign the lease? Or
they had to have it before they even got the CO.
Gotcha.
Because the county had to come out and inspect the grease trap. It had to be inspected for cracks and whatever, but they had to have it because it was a high traffic area for one, and it was a restaurant, so you had other people in there, so you had to have that grease trap.
You know, it's funny you say that, Lab. That was one thing when I bought the salon. Was I didn't know that a salon had to be registered because I had other businesses. I just thought I'd get, you know, the business license for that particular local municipality. The salon had to be registered with the state board, just like any other barber or cosmetologist. There was a salon thing where they had to come through and give me a license. In addition to that, I had to have that done. Health department, the damn fire marshal, all that. That was my first. That salon was my first I had offices
Mhm.
for other business. I never had like actually retail thing like that
Mhm.
where I had to go through that. So that was a big learning curve. But that was one thing that was funky that I never thought about. I didn't know in regard because I must have rethought it before I bought the salon, but it probably came up way heavy with that because I had to actually get some stuff
Mhm.
in place. But actually, they get the salon being on the state carbon
Right.
project list. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because
didn't
you
know.
got people coming to getting their hair done, even though each individual person has a license. It's still your building. It's still your establishment where the hair is being done. So yes, you have to have a license. Just like if somebody has a restaurant in the building, and let's say you have a salon downstairs and a restaurant upstairs,
Mhm.
that restaurant still gonna need a license for the restaurant, and they still need to be inspected by the health department and people who do pools and all that. All them people got to inspect that before you can open.
Interesting.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter on those things. People don't really realize that how many regulatory, like we're talking about now, how many regulatory, county, city, and state people get involved with your business. Now, it's not just the city and it's not just the county. It'll be all three of them most of the time.
Yeah, especially depending on what the capacity of it was. The some of the service-based businesses that I had, wasn't really no issue with doing it. But that salon, that was one thing. Like, man, state was coming out there, our state board was coming out all the time, and it would pick up pop-up stuff and everything, and slapping them fines on my ass. Shit,
you ain't got enough water pressure back here at this sink.
Hey,
The sink water ain't hot enough.
Like the people that had the damn towels,
right,
in a certain place and all that kind of shit. You were like, seriously?
They don't be wanting damn towels around, cause mold. They be want, yeah. It's really. Cause I was gonna open a salon with my ex-wife because she had a cosmetology license.
Okay.
And we went through that whole thing, read all that stuff about how you had to have this, you got to have that. Like sinks got to be a certain amount of this away from the wall. You got to have a water pressure, got to be a certain PSI. I mean, yeah.
There was a lot of stuff I hadn't even thought about, but made it through. But definitely, guys, regulatory rule changes. Make sure y'all know that from year to year what it kind of changes. I have to be abreast of all the the changes for the tax industry. What was going on last year was that last year,
Right.
and what's the new things that are applicable, and just and being able to explain it to people, that actually, new customers. Hey, Deontay, I heard I could ride off my goat.
If I make it one delivery, it could be a delivery goat.
Yeah. It's just some of the things, man. Funny tax story. I remember I had a guy. He told me, I never forget. He said, "I'm a preacher," and he said, my account. This is over 20 years ago. There ain't no client, whatever. But I remember he said, "I'm a preacher," and he said, "I got an account I just opened, but I call it tithes."
Mm-hmm.
Now his man got no damn church.
Okay, no bills.
So his money he put into the side. He call it tithes.
Okay.
He tithe himself.
Okay.
So he gonna tell me damn near $15,000 should be going to church donations because this is his money. He a preacher,
right?
And he tithe himself. Man, that's stories, bro.
Right.
Shit.
Right.
And he gave me a look like, "No, you can't do that, man.
That's illegal, man."
Yeah, like damn, you don't, this is not racial nonprofit.
Right.
You ain't got no kind of.
You ain't tax exempt.
You're telling me this is. I'm a minister.
Right.
This is my account called tithes.
A tithe account that I spend money on for myself.
My people.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, man. I remember that though. I remember that vividly. But definitely want to stay on top of here. Those business regulatory changes. Again, we're talking about the 6 stress of your business in 2024. We're rolling through them. The next one being technological disruptions, right? Advancement, again, it's technological disruptions. Guys, feel free to call in 678-740-9894 if you got anything that you feel may be a threat to your business during this current year, early in this current year. Anything that you may wonder about or whatever, feel free to call in. Anybody left in the comments or anything?
Nah.
I guess everybody's shit going okay.
Or they ain't got it started yet.
They ain't got it started yet.
This is helping them know what they need to look for.
Yeah, feel free to call in, guys. 678-740-9894. Again, that's 678-740-9894. And that being again that one, technological disruptions. Advancements in technology like artificial intelligence, automation, and blockchain may bring both opportunities and challenges, requiring businesses to adapt. What did Uber and Lyft do to the taxi industry? What did Airbnb and got a friend of mine? She works for a company called PadSplit, and we were talking recently about how PadSplit is like an Airbnb, but they deal more in like the room and house concept.
Okay.
So say if you got a house with over four rooms, they kind of go in where it's pretty much automated, where they do the whole onboarding people, and it's not necessarily can't have anywhere. You just like in your hot markets,
Okay,
like Atlanta, Houston, Dallas. You got a 4 or 5 bedroom house. You got they already have that software set up, remote locks on the rooms. The shared space may be the bathroom and the kitchen.
Right.
And it's just like pretty much you just got a room house, and they want you to have minimum 30-day stay. Ideal for a traveling nurse, people come do business, this, that, and that. But you got that place, you got a room locked in or whatever. But these are innovative ways in technology. There people, just I mean, I'm an accountant. When I first got in the game, we were working on a damn green grid paper. And now you have that same information, you can do it on Excel. Technology does two things. It advances stuff and it takes jobs. You got to be able to be abreast and move and pivot when technological advances and
come along.
You have to be right. Innovation is inevitable, people, and we have to be able to adjust. I've had a lot of success, probably being around the curve with certain things that were happening. But there's been a lot of times where you're like, damn, maybe caught off guard with certain things.
Right.
And I just want to advise people to make sure you're abreast with, just knowing new trends. That's what I was talking earlier.
Technology might be good for the business. You know what I'm saying? It might be make it more efficient.
Well, we grew up in no cash register days. Well, now it's all boop, 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 boop. The big thing was that like 15 years ago, the whole Check 21, when everybody was moving over to the debit card and stuff like that, being able to do it was just so scary,
right?
To people. Now we're looking at what biometrics,
stuff
like that. It's different. It's different.
Make sure you don't even need no wallet now. Everything be in your phone. You just think about that, like your ID, your credit cards. You just swipe up your phone and pick what you need.
But just think about it, like, you got to make a conscious decision on that if you're going to be opposing certain stuff. Like I talked a lot. I got family members because they so anti-computer. Shit, you can't. They don't want to do that. And they exactly totally behind the curve. And those technological disruptions, man, you got to be prepared for it, man. Just how the radio. I had a conversation earlier today in regards to how the internet, Google in particular, how they've thrown a big monkey wrench to the radio industry. I think Cox is maybe moving Frank Ski over maybe to the TV side, but he's no longer on the show.
Oh, really?
The radio show. But I don't necessarily know if they say they fired him, but I think he's maybe moved to more somewhere else in the company.
Visual.
But with that point being said, radio rough. I got a cousin of mine, he does operation manager, you might be listening to, but he for one of the radio stations here. And I remember the conversation over 10 years ago, about 15 years ago, really. Hey man, what you think about, a lot of y'all lose ad spot on to the internet. Well, you're gonna need a radio, the radio's all gonna be needed. Just
right.
I felt then and I feel that was a totally uninformed answer.
Right.
That he just really was like it was damn near like it was a gimmick.
Right. And
look what we had now. Man, I remember back in 2003, radio spots on a V13 AOK, it's like they would give like $5,000, $8,000, $10,000 packages. And them shit, that same stuff ain't even going for hundreds of dollars now.
Right.
But at the end of the day, why the hell, you don't even really be thinking about it because most people, you can get the same stuff on Google or Instagram. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For crumbs today. And you're a controller. You can actually hit the right people that you want to hit. So what the hell you advertising on the radio?
Right.
Unless it's something that there's some things that probably I think on the radio you need like off the top of my head, those local restaurants, and
Local.
clubs.
But even with those, if they hit the right markets like local podcasts and local internet radio stations,
Absolutely.
it'll be the same. I mean, it may be. See, the problem, I think radio won't go away as quickly as we think it will, is because people still have in their mind that you could be heard on that. Like, they don't think you could be heard on the internet with these internet stations or not. So they physically want to be heard on the radio in your car driving. That's the only advantage that radio has over everybody.
I think that's a very small number because
Right.
hell, you can only hear me on the radio, but you can see me on the internet.
Right.
So I think that's I don't necessarily know if it'd be an end to the radio, but it definitely not as I don't have a time frame how long it'll last.
Right.
But I think something there, but definitely that was a very one of those industries being radio that underestimate their opponents. You know, they always talk about Kmart and Walmart and JCPenney. They underestimate.
They underestimate that online shopping.
Yeah, definitely do it. And you see the guys, some of the jocks. It was a good point for mine we were talking about earlier in regards to a lot of those guys maybe contracted in. They can't do their own little podcast and stuff like that because they may work for the radio station. I get that part, but I do think that a lot of them missed the boat. Will be able to
capitalize on that.
You know, make that money. Yeah, for streaming and things like that. But definitely be ready for technological disruptions. The last one, make sure we got all these.
You got economic uncertainty.
Oh yeah, economic uncertainty. Thanks, appreciate it. Larry.
Yeah,
economic uncertainty. That being economic fluctuations, inflation, global economic events can affect businesses, influencing customer behavior and overall financial stability. Economic uncertainties, guys. I mean, that stuff want to hold us with people right now. They want to buy a new house. Why people want to move? Why people want to lose their job? They don't know what the hell is going on.
Right.
Are the housing prices going to drop? Is the rental prices going to drop? Is they going to stay up? Whatever. Can I get the cars cheaper at a certain amount of time? They got people really sitting there, and all the while you got this business going on. Shit, I need y'all to do something.
Right.
Y'all worry about inflation.
Right.
Hell. I'm
about to close.
Yeah. But you got to be prepared for that kind of stuff and be able to adjust your pitch accordingly, depending on what because the economic state that you're in and reality is just that.
Right.
So we got to sit here and just make sure that we can be able to navigate and move with that. Right. So far too often, I think people underestimate the situation the next person going through. You know, we got our state of the pocket, right? We start our state of the wallet. And I understand that we'll say, okay, they poor, but not the psychological side of it. People trying to really survive and they want to do certain things.
That's it.
But they find money on certain things that are important to them, right? Like I might not necessarily be like, man, I don't really want to invest in getting that car and stuff like that, but they might spend it at the club. They might spend it at the restaurant. They might spend that day in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right. And so you got to find the right pain points to reach at people. But a lot of it do be based on, you know, really, you know, what people find important with doing that. But,
I mean, you think about the inflation rate the Feds talked about today. Inflation still went up 3.49%. You know what I'm saying? Just even though they're not going to go up on the interest rate anymore, they said they seen it start going. They see a downturn, but it still went up 3.49%.
But the raise rate was 7-8 times last year.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I mean, they haven't done it yet, but it still may be a situation where they like, shit, you know, pass because, you know, again, once they start looking at the data, you never know. Right. You know, just the last conversation where they saying, hey, things are going in a certain direction. And it's tough. A lot of why. I mean, I'm sitting on my phone and looking at people, you go by your house and they just trying to find, I applaud it. And you know they'll put the pros of buying a house at a certain time now. But damn man, like this is
not at 12%.
Because why would I sell my house, my house right now and get this amount of money, and then I gotta go buy a little house for the same damn price that I stole it for?
Right.
That don't make any damn sense. And imagine how many damn geniuses
they
got
done
that. You know what I mean? They done spend their money on a damn, or they in an apartment. That's cutting their damn, you know, all that money, the profit that they felt they made for selling the house in half. Yeah,
that was Slick say, guys. We got the two idiots across the street. They sold their house when it was like $4 something, and it seems like, well, what they gonna do when they gotta go rent an apartment for $1,500? I mean, for $2,400 a month.
We'll
That
get a smaller house,
right,
the same price.
for so say $400.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes no sense. And a lot of times people don't necessarily have foresight.
Right.
Or
They just see
have-
the zeros.
Yeah, and I think most business owners need to be ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
I like to go to like the restaurants and bars during the week because I kind of like not necessarily. I ain't too big on the crowd thing. Sometimes
Right.
I'm watching games online, but just like a restaurant or a bar, I kind of make sure don't be as packed. But I see a lot of times. I think a lot of businesses, like it's kind of tough to survive on 2 or 3 days a week.
Yeah,
you got a busy weekend or not, and they really don't be prepared for that. Like I said, a lot of them, like you talked about earlier, might go into panic mode with certain stuff and everything. But it'd be inevitable.
Yeah.
Slow time.
Slow
people ain't
time.
working, people ain't making the money, people ain't receive, especially what they have going on.
Or you
right
might
now.
just not have a good place.
Might have a good place.
We go back to the hiring the proper folks.
Yeah.
The vibe in there might be look good, but people have been in there and it just don't look good. So that's an economical issue. See how that ties together?
Yeah.
That's an economical uncertainty is being caused by the talent that you're hiring because people don't want to come in there.
Don't want to come in there. And also, man, like, you right now for a perfect example. A lot of folks went broke criminal.
Mm-hmm.
So now you sitting there like, they leveling up, trying to do certain stuff because, I remember just me being a landlord, you always going to get, you always got to work with them criminal time.
Right.
Because like, at the end, this, that, and that. That's why I got the hell out of being a landlord and start getting property management. Because nobody came back, pay their damn rent in December. And January rent definitely going to be late.
Right.
Like just like it's a 3 month from December to February.
It's shaky.
Some bullshit going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that was just part of the game with doing that kind of stuff. But from an economic uncertainty, like I said, inflation, global economic things, you got to make sure, especially when you are in a particular business that has what is the word? Your particular business is affected by things in another industry or whatever. You selling cars, you got a car repair place, you had a chip shortage, because of that, it was affecting what you was able to do, provide the services. Certain other things where other things, especially from a global perspective, you got a restaurant, you got a little grocery store or whatever, because things got imported in, because of tariffs here, war there, all kind of stuff going on that may affect you. So people have to be, again, you got to have some kind of foresight, be on top of any kind of trends that may can impact your business.
Right. Anything that might turn your business. I think on a lot of these things, I believe that people just get so busy into the business and so caught up into trying to make the business success, they don't realize these external things can make the business fail as well. That's why a lot of people don't look into this stuff.
Well, people are so caught into what I talk about all the time. They forget that they're not paying for their product or service. They'll say, I like this, I like that, but you're not buying this shit. Right. Well, I think this would be nice. I think that would be nice.
Right.
Which it may be nice to you.
Right.
But it may not be a big deal to the vast majority of people that are gonna buy your product or acquire your service and everything.
They might not like purple plates.
Exactly. All the light stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Right. You love them.
and a lot of times when people get caught up into that, that's why you see the franchise, like, ain't nobody really got no skin in the game. Like, this is it. This is the way we're gonna deliver, how everything gonna look. But you start getting into how what you determine is beautiful. That's when you kind of lose out with that. So you got to be very, very careful with that, guy.
I mean, the Chick-fil-A's and all them stuff, they are static. They have this drawn out map. I don't care how many franchises you own, they all gonna look exactly like this. You get what I'm saying? This is the framework. This is the template that you go by, or you don't get a franchise. Plain, period, point blank. Subway is starting to go back there. Subway used to have a thing where the franchises didn't have to necessarily do what the corporate office said that they had to do. Well, since they've been sold recently, last year, the family sold it to another company. The company saying, nah, all the franchises, if we offering a coupon for $5 subs, they all got to offer the $5 subs.
I didn't know they function like that.
Yes, at first Subway, like if they had a promotion where they was getting $5 subs, if the franchisee didn't want to sell $5 subs, he didn't have to.
Interesting.
But now they going back to the structure of the new owners are like, nah, If we offer $2 subs with chips and a drink, every restaurant's gonna offer that, or they're gonna lose their franchise.
I just would assume that everybody kind of stay. Well, and they do say some of the commercials. This may be determined by local.
Right.
Yeah, I do hear that disclaimer.
They changing that though, because they were saying like this is not, it messes up those restaurants. Because if I come to this Subway and they offering the special, then go to Subway around my job and they not offering the special, I'm not gonna say it's the local owner. I'm gonna say Subway full of shit.
Yeah,
Full of crap. I'm sorry.
It like it gives no employee more pleasure taking. Nah, we ain't
doing it. Not this Subway.
The coupon. Well, we don't take
the coupon.
Well, why you taking it? I don't know.
Exactly.
That's like what the ultimate. They can just when they can tell you know
and be
about
right. And be right about it, because they don't take it.
I don't even think about it. Now that's interesting, Lab.
Yeah.
Again, guys, we're talking about the 6 biggest things, 6 biggest threat to your business in 2024. Guys, call in. I know everybody got, we're talking about business owners and going through different challenges, seeing different things that could be difficult or cause some kind of adversity of business, in this year of 2024. Feel free to call in, guys. Ask me, run it by me. Get a call-in number 678-740-9894.
Everybody's sad about Belichick and Saban. Everybody crying right now.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Change is inevitable.
Change is inevitable. But they crying about it right now.
Yeah. Saban, Pete Carroll,
Mm-hmm.
couple guys, were doing it. Someone got fired. Shout out to Falcon firing Arthur Smith.
Right.
Shout out. I don't know how the hell they're gonna go through that, man. It'd be interesting. We don't have so many damn bad seasons. Atlanta we need a good. It's the perfect city,
right,
to have stuff going good.
It is, because so much going on here. It's so much. It's good city to have good teams.
Yeah,
because you can make a ton of money with good teams because so many people come here to visit.
Yeah, absolutely.
You think about all the movies being made. Lionsgate right down the street now. You think about all the movies being made, and all people from Hollywood coming that's going to want to see the Lakers and the Hawks play if the Hawks is a good team.
Yeah. No. It's definitely needed. But guys, again, we're talking about 6 biggest threats to your business in 2024, and we're on our last one, that being brand reputation management. The influence of social media and instant communication on a company's reputation continue to be a concern, requiring proactive reputation management.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I'm gonna say this to you because I would appreciate Lab, especially Rick, get on me sometimes. I've had some of my pages. We've had some of the automated posts and stuff like that. Rick saw it like a damn bot page.
Yeah,
and it
does.
And then sometimes you can put out the wrong image or information out. It can be, detrimental.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it can be great, but you have to make sure you got the right stuff going, because in my mind, sometimes I felt like I had to get keep things looking busy.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why sometimes may not necessarily be the right thing for that, right? But it's very, very important that. And sometimes you can get a wrong image out with certain things.
Mm-hmm.
I've experimented before. I think if you haven't noticed any of my platforms, I've experimented a lot with those 10, 15-second CapCut videos to kind of, just do some things like that. And that kind of worked a little bit effectively on Change the Lives. He really did that with $short dollar, but those kind of things helped and everything. But just being on top of how that social media image is with that. Because again, what we talked about earlier, you pick your phone up and on YouTube, Deontay Burden, bar and pub, worker slaps little kids.
Right.
Lady gets this, that, and that, and you hear it. Now it's viral to your point, but you get that negative review. Like, damn, man, my brand management just, depends because we've done certain things, and because once bad hits that spiral and everything's going crazy, it can be detrimental to your business.
I'm gonna give you one good example. Last year, sometime it was a local restaurant. I want to say it was in Woodstock or somewhere around. Where a lady went in the restaurant, had a phone out, and it was a restaurant. I no offense, but it was white folks in there, and she had a camera out, and the white folks like, "Why are you coming in here? This is our place." But the person who owned it was Chinese, but the white folks like, "You're not supposed to be in here. This ain't place for you anyway. This
black woman,
this is our place." So, of course, she posted it. Now, when you go, I just happen to go to the comments on Google. All they saying is, This is a racist place. Don't go here. And it's not one or two people. It's hundreds of thousands of people that said this now.
Well,
You get what I'm saying? How messed up that branding got by just that one post.
yeah. And guys, remember what I said. The key thing, what I want everybody to remember, with this show in particular, do not look at what we're discussing from the vantage point of the consumer
Right.
or the person paying for the service. Look at it. Everything we're talking about, you're the actual business owner.
Right.
And to that point, you got this whole, this viral video going out. And then you say, okay, I put all this money into the aesthetics. I put all this money into social media posts, everything like that. But now I got somebody posting these negative videos that went viral. You can't recover from
You can't recover from
stuff
you can't beat it.
Yeah, because the advertising you paid for it.
Right.
This shit free. The algorithm going crazy.
Right.
People sharing it and all kind of stuff. Man, it's
And they
crazy.
wear your Google reviews out. Out on you.
It's rough, man. It's rough. And you got tons of people that are reluctant. One of my dogs had a good spot right there. This is one of my partners, man, a barbecue spot right off Tara Boulevard. And I go on TikTok about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, stay the hell away from this place of food. Now, my boy is a very conscious business guy.
Right.
I think kind of, he probably wasn't receptive to the place because he had other things going on.
Okay.
But I know damn well if he was the type of dude, if something was wrong, he'd have been on top
He would have fixed it. Right.
But that video had so much traction.
Mm-hmm.
It was just so detrimental. I felt some kind of way with my friend spot because I was like, I did inbox the guy, hey man, why don't you just reach out to the owner if something was wrong?
Right.
Like, I know the guy, he'll have a conversation with you. I thought that was some punk shit, the main video and everything, but I'm just feeling that way because that's my friend.
Right.
But definitely that was one thing that just really just stopped a whole lot of stuff. Because people, it's cool to look at the videos, like you see, I can see the bars and the ladies sitting there, their legs greased up, just like that, like, hey man, you
that's where I want to be. Right.
Somebody special go there and everything. Hey, this way, hey, that's where it is.
Right.
To your partners or whatever, everybody cool. That's it.
Right.
The ladies see the stuff. The women got the mimosas popping.
Grown
folks
stuff going on here.
It's cool. And
right.
You get them. Oh, Lord.
You got that on the wrong night. You didn't got that on the Sukiyana and Sexy Red night. See, you went on Thursday night. They decided to go on Saturday night. It was wasn't the same crap.
She want her gone. Got her damn super lace front, padded up, eyelashes, looking like an old girl from the fucking. She moving the Muppets. I mean, what can you do?
Right.
Shiniest lips you ever seen in your life. Nails 10 feet long.
Right.
What you want?
Right. Yeah.
Hold on one second. Hey, yeah. Let me call you back. I'm at work. We'll talk about it. And you sitting there like, what the hell?
Right.
It happens far too often.
All the time.
Dealing with your cousin. And look, man, this is my livelihood. This is my business or whatever. But my stupid ass don't want to spend no time hiring the right people.
Right.
I just, you know what I'm saying?
You just got them up. Somebody refer somebody else for a job.
And it destroys you. So, guys, I really want you to take away from the show we're talking about tonight in regards to the 6 biggest threats to your business in 2024. Again, the 6 biggest threats to your business in 2024. Be very, very conscious. Remember, guys, if you have to look at this video again, go to the YouTube channel, Mr. Short Dollar, and make sure you subscribe to the channel and look at the video in its whole entirety. But remember, guys, when you listen to the information we talk about, that's the key thing what we're talking about. Make sure you're listening and looking from the vantage point of a business owner, not somebody purchasing.
Not the purchaser. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, again, a lot of people want to go down that road of entrepreneurship. They want to start a business, something, do certain things, but they don't have the right mindset. You got to get out of the purchaser mindset with doing it. You guys got to understand that, look, I'm one providing this service. And I got to be able to sit here and say, okay, not what I feel about certain things. Because the customer isn't always right.
Right.
The customer is not always right. But the customer is always paying you.
Yeah.
And you got to just understand that, look, am I doing, I'll never, ever agree with somebody, let somebody disrespect them. Cuss them out, spit on them, and do some stuff. Like we've seen some of these crazy videos. I'm never going to say that. But how serious is it to argue with somebody, just somebody stupid? Like, come on, man.
When you know you right.
Yeah. Well, like, look, man, they got some challenges going on. Let's just take care of get my money. Let's go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I
Right.
can't get, sometimes some people might want the last word. They might want to do this, that, and that. But you gotta just how serious is it?
Mm-hmm.
Lose the battle, win the war. Lose the battle, win the war. That's simple.
Right.
So listen, guys, best of luck to you guys. Appreciate you guys tuning in again. One more time, I do want to shout out everybody gave me birthday wishes on Monday. I really, really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. All you guys, if you haven't already, make sure you go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. Almost 900 videos on the YouTube channel covering business operations, business management, business finance, entrepreneurship, basic financing. We got an active grant place for over 150 grants. I got a video coming out for the top grants for 2024. Also the grants for veterans, also the grants for farming, all that stuff coming out in the pipe and everything like that. Also got my book be out in the next month or so and everything. So I do want to tell you guys again, from the bottom of my heart, and my baby boy Will B.
He ain't to you.
Will B.
Will be.
Got on headphones on. Give a shout out to everybody from Mr. Short Dollar.
Huh?
Give a shout out to everybody on Mr. Short Dollar. Just say thanks for tuning in.
Oh, thanks for tuning in.
So
Right.
me and my baby boy say thanks for tuning in. And also, I want to tell everybody thanks for supporting my Misfits Radio, Misfits TV family as well and stuff like that. But definitely, great show, guys. Great show. I need you guys to start calling in with your questions and everything like that because we got a lot of good information and you never know what your question or what your insight, how it might impact somebody else.
else's.
So wasn't even thinking about it, okay? But listen, guys, y'all take care, be safe, enjoy your new year, and I'll talk with you soon.